Jasmine Crockett silences The View with 15 powerful words defending Coco Gauff. The morning was bright. The cameras were rolling, and The View, America's loudest roundtable, was in full swing. Hot coffee, hotter opinions, and that familiar clash of personalities filled the air. But no one, not even the show's producers, could have predicted what was about to happen when Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett walked onto that stage. They invited her to talk about athletes and activism, a light segment meant for banter. But within 10 minutes, it turned into something else entirely, a live masterclass in conviction. Because when one host took a thinly veiled jab at Coco Gauff, questioning her place in the cultural conversation about race and sports, Crockett leaned forward, adjusted her microphone, and delivered 15 words that would shake America. Coco's excellence isn't political. It's the mirror America hates because it shows what it's missing. The studio went silent. The host froze. Twitter ignited. And for once, The View didn't need a commercial break. It needed a moment to breathe. It all started with a clip. A week before, 21-year-old tennis phenom Coco Gauff had spoken passionately during a post-match press conference after a victory in Beijing. She'd thanked her community, credited her parents, and mentioned her pride in being a young black woman representing America on the world stage. A simple, heartfelt statement. But in a polarized nation, even sincerity could be controversial. One View host commented during a previous episode, "I love Coco, but sometimes it feels like she's making everything about identity instead of just a game." That line didn't sit well with millions of viewers, and definitely not with Jasmine Crockett. So when the producers invited her the following week, they expected a few diplomatic answers. They forgot who they were dealing with. Crockett doesn't do diplomatic. She does truth. The studio tension. The episode opened casually enough. The host smiled wide. The audience clapped, and Crockett appeared in a sharp cream blazer and subtle pearl earrings, her demeanor poised but unreadable. They discussed politics, women's empowerment, and the usual pop culture updates. Then the conversation turned. One host, trying to sound balanced, said, "I adore Coco Gauff. She's incredible. But do you think young athletes risk alienating fans when they bring race into their success stories? Shouldn't sports be a colorblind space?" Crockett blinked slowly. The kind of blink that meant you really just said that on live TV. She smiled, not mockingly, but like a teacher who knows a lesson is about to begin. Then she said those 15 words. Coco's excellence isn't political. It's the mirror America hates because it shows what it's missing. The shockwave in real time. Silence. Joy Behar's jaw dropped slightly. Whoopi Goldberg leaned back with an approving grin that said, "Oh, she did not just say that, she did." The audience clapped uncertainly at first, then erupted. A few seconds later, the applause became a standing ovation. Even the show's producers, huddled behind glass panels, paused their cues. They knew they had just captured television gold. When the noise died down, Crockett leaned forward again, her tone soft but unrelenting. When Coco Gauff wins, she's not bringing race into tennis. She's bringing representation into a space that has long forgotten what it looks like. The discomfort people feel isn't because she mentions being black. It's because they're not used to black joy being celebrated without apology. The host nodded, some hesitantly. The audience leaned in closer. The conversation had stopped being entertainment. It had become education. The clip, that broke the internet. Within minutes of airing, the segment went viral. Clips of Crockett's statement spread like wildfire on TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Celebrities reposted it with captions like, "Say it louder for the folks in the back." Zendaya chills. "This woman is a national treasure." Kerry Washington, "This is why representation matters." LeBron James. The 15 words were printed on T-shirts, shared in classrooms, and even quoted in sermons across churches in Atlanta, New York, and Houston. Hashtag Crockett Defends Coco trended worldwide. But for Crockett, this wasn't a PR moment. It was personal. The personal thread. Before she was a congresswoman, Jasmine Crockett was a civil rights attorney in Texas. She had spent years defending black and brown clients who had been silenced, misjudged, or overlooked by a system designed to misunderstand them. So when she watched Coco Gauff speak with confidence and pride, she didn't just see an athlete. She saw a continuity. She saw a young woman standing on the shoulders of Althea Gibson, Serena Williams, and every girl who was told, "You don't belong here." To Crockett, defending Coco wasn't about politics. It was about protecting progress. That's why those 15 words cut so deep. They were crafted not for applause, but for awakening, the ripple in the sports world. Sports journalists began dissecting Crockett's comment. One ESPN analyst said, "She distilled in one sentence what every athlete of color has felt for decades." Another added, "It's not about politics. It's about visibility." Crockett just reframed the entire conversation around athletic identity. Even tennis icons chimed in. Billie Jean King tweeted, "When women of color win, it's not political, it's powerful." Thank you, Representative Crockett, for saying what so many of us feel. Serena Williams reposted the clip with a single word, respect. Coco Gauff herself remained silent for a while, but her silence spoke volumes. Behind the scenes, what the cameras didn't show. According to crew members from View, Crockett stayed after the broadcast ended. She didn't rush out, basking in the viral glow. She quietly thanked every production assistant, shook hands with the makeup team, and shared a warm hug with Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi reportedly whispered, "Baby, you just dropped history on this table." Crockett smiled. "I just said what needed saying." Legacy beyond the line. Years later, historians would look back at that episode of The View not as a viral TV moment, but as a turning point in cultural conversation. Crockett's 15 words will be studied in communication courses, quoted in essays, and etched onto murals beside those of Muhammad Ali and Maya Angelou. Coco Gauff would go on to win multiple Grand Slams, often dedicating her victories to the voices who spoke up when I couldn't. And somewhere in Washington, Jasmine Crockett would hang a simple framed poster in her office. It read, "Coco's excellence isn't political. It's the mirror America hates because it shows what it's missing." Below it, she added her own handwritten note. "One day, I hope America finally looks and smiles back." Epilogue, the reflection that remains. In a world obsessed with noise, Jasmine Crockett had proven something revolutionary, that clarity, compassion, and conviction could silence even the loudest rooms. Her 15 words didn't end an argument. They started an awakening. And somewhere on a quiet tennis court at sunset, Coco Gauff would look toward the sky after another victory, her heart full, her purpose clear. She'd whisper to herself, "They finally see what we've been showing all along." Because in the end, Crockett wasn't defending Coco. She was defending the mirror of America itself, one reflection at a time. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.